Hey guys, this is John. We are working our way through the steps of building a set of stairs. So if you haven't seen the previous video, we went over the math, and in this video we'll be putting the stairs together. So click here if you haven't done that yet and you'll get caught up. So now that we have the math done, let's walk through the steps of making the actual stringers themselves. I would advise setting up the uncut stair stringers on sawhorses so that you can work at a comfortable height. As far as the stringer material itself, look for the material that will be about 12 inches wide by an inch and a quarter thick. It's actually 11 7/8 inch wide by inch and a quarter, but it's also 16 feet long. Be aware that the stair tread material and the stair stringer material look the same. Don't use the stair tread material, which has a rounded nose, but instead use the stringer material, which has square edges on all sides. We're going to be using a framing square. So what we're going to use is what's called stair nuts, and they slide onto the framing square so that you can keep your place every time. You can slide it up and down the board and draw them over and over. So slide the stair nuts onto the square till you find your spot with the riser height and your tread length. Tighten them down so they don't move, and begin to trace both the tread and riser 14 times. I like to mark each tread with a number to keep track of how many I have, and also to identify in the top stair and the bottom stair, which is important. When you go to cut your lines, be careful not to cut past your mark. Don't do any overcuts, and because that'll weaken the stair tread. Just be as precise as possible. When it comes to finishing off this part where the circular saw blade didn't get, you can finish that off with a reciprocating saw or jigsaw or a hand saw of any kind, so that that last little bit gets cut out. Okay, let's go over drawing the top and the bottom details. In the previous video, we divided the total height of the staircase into equal steps and found that, like I said, it would be 7 9/16. As you can see here in this model, if I was to let's go ahead and just hide a couple of these for now. Okay, so when we cut our stair stringer, we're going to be adding the steps, right? So we have added an inch thick stair tread to the top of this part of the stringer, and we'll be adding those down. But currently, the height difference is an inch taller than what we've cut, right? But that's okay because we're going to be adding another one here and another one here. So they're all the same dimension from top of tread to top of tread all the way down. However, when we get down to the bottom where the concrete is, we're not going to be adding that extra inch stair tread. So to fix that so that the top of stair tread is the same distance from here to the concrete as it is from here to all the other steps, we're going to be taking an inch off the bottom of the stringer. As it gets formed, we just make that dimension an inch shorter. All right, let's go over to a spot and I'll show you how to draw that end of the staircase, and then later we'll go and talk about the top staircase. So what I have over here is the bottom staircase. So this is our riser and this is our run, right? So from here we're going to go, instead of 7 and 9/16, it's going to be 6 and 9/16. As you can see, and that's where we're going to be. That we want that to be parallel with the stair tread portion. And then from here to there is going to be square like it is over here. The next step is going to include a spot where a treated 2x4 is going to be nailed to the ground to prevent it from sliding. And we'll go over that a little bit later, but for now it's just a 2x4 dimension. So 1.5 up, 3.5 over. Let me find my, there it is. And then 1.5 back. So that will be removed from the stair stringer, and this will also be removed as well. Okay, before we move on to the top of the stairs, I wanted to go back for a second and talk about this other piece of wood on the stair model that I have. This piece right here is a spacer that gets installed onto the wall in between the stair tread and the wall so that we can fit drywall between the staircase. They don't have to cut a super complicated cut. They can just cut it at a triangle and slip it in on the side. If you look on the side here, and let me see if I can get the walls here's the walls. So if you look, you can see that there's going to be a space right in between the stairs that they can slip their drywall in, and it'll be a lot easier of an install. So now that we have that talked about, it's basically just this exact same length as behind, or as the bottom side of this staircase, and cut to length all the way to the top. Oops. All the way to the top of the stair tread. And that's what it is. So that piece will be installed with 2 nails every stud all the way up the staircase. And so we'll put 2 nails here, 2 nails here, all the way up. And then same with the stringer, we're going to put the 2 nails attaching the stringer to that spacer with 2 nails, and you can just do it in front of every stud. So there's 2 nails from here to here and 2 nails from here to here, every stud all the way up. Okay, so we've talked about the bottom of the stairs. Let's talk about the top of the stairs really quickly. Now let me see if we were to take this piece away. This is one way of doing stairs, but I just wanted to quickly go over another way to do stairs, and it would be as simple as taking that top stair tread off and installing that stair tread without this piece. Does that make sense? This would actually be removed as well. This riser wouldn't need to be on. And this would go there. That is a common way to install stairs, to be able to keep that top piece, to be able to take that top piece off. And that would be as simple as taking your stair stringer and cutting down that vertical line and just removing that top stair, that 14th stair, just to take it off and install it here. Other than that, all of the other procedures are exactly the same. To be able to do it this way, I would like to just go over a couple of things. This is that 14th stair on the top. Now, as we talked about, we added an inch to the stair tread. We added an inch. We added an inch. That's from top to top to top. Now we know that the top of the subfloor is going to be added to those floor joists. So the top of subfloor to top of first stair tread needs to be that same 7 and 9/16 distance. So what ends up happening is the thickness, in fact, here's that line, the thickness between here and here is 3/4 inch between top of subfloor and there, which means that this piece is 1/4 inch taller than this piece. Does that make sense? We make up the difference between the top. So a simple way to remember if that's confusing is we take an inch off the bottom of the stairs and we add 1/4 inch to the top of the stairs in most cases. Anyway, those are two things that seem to always confuse people when doing the math of the stairs. When you have completed cutting the stair stringer, the way you like it, with the top stair off or the top stair with the 1/4 inch added, put the piece that you've cut out onto the next piece, and you're going to trace it out so that you can have exact copies. Be sure to keep it exact because we want 3 replicas. We want them to be perfect copies. If there is any spots that need to be adjusted, go ahead and adjust them now so that they are precise. Take your stair stringer and test fit it where you want it. When you have it where you want it, trace the bottom of the stairs onto the studs. This is where you will attach that 2x4 spacer that I talked about, and putting the 2 nails on every stud. We're going to repeat that same process to the other side of the staircase so that we have both side pieces on. And lastly, we're going to install the middle stringer. The next step is going to be gluing down and installing a piece of green treated board with concrete nails. Once you have completed that, we are going to take the stair tread material and cut it to the width of outside of stair stringer to outside of stair stringer, or a little bit larger. What I like to do is I like to take the width of the staircase and minus 2 inches. That gives us an inch on either side for that 1/2 inch drywall to slip behind. And then when you install it, glue every horizontal surface, nail that as well with 3 nails per. I'd like to keep those as the ring shank nails to keep from squeaking, but really the glue and the combination of the glue and the ring shank nail will do the job. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you'll be able to watch this again if you need, or go over some of the aspects of the stair questions that you have with your supervisor. Other than that, thank you much.